Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. Proverbs 9. Wisdom has built her house. She has set up its 7 pillars. She has prepared her meat and mixed her wine. She has also set her table. She has sent out her servants, and she calls from the highest point of the city. Let all who are simple come to my house. To those who have no sense, she says, come eat my food and drink the wine I have mixed. Leave your simple ways, and you will walk in the way of insight. Whoever corrects a mocker invites insults. Whoever rebukes the wicked incurs abuse. Do not rebuke mockers, or they will hate you. Rebuke the wise, and they will love you. Instruct the wise, and they will be wiser still. Teach the righteous, and they will add to their learning. Now, it also says that you should rebuke the mockers, or they'll be wise in their own eyes. So that's one thing that's very interesting about Proverbs. It tends to seemingly contradict itself, but it's trying to get you to think deeply about why it's saying that. So why is that being said? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. For through wisdom your days will be many, and years will be added to your life. If you are wise, your wisdom will reward you. If you are a mocker, you alone will suffer. So it says, if you are wise, your wisdom will reward you. If you are a mocker, you alone will suffer. Now, of course, other people suffer because of mockers, right? But it's saying that in the long term, your mocking is going to come down on your head. And in your mind, and in your brain, and in your body, and in your soul, and your spirit, you're going to suffer from that mocking. That's what it's saying. It's saying, hey, don't think that the person you're mocking is magically being brought down, and while you're walking away unscathed, that you are the one who's truly suffering. So what it's saying is, if you are a mocker, you're causing yourself the most hardship, by far. Folly is an unruly woman. She is simple and knows nothing. She sits at the door of her house on a seat at the highest point of the city, calling out to those who pass by, who go straight on their way. Let all who are simple come to my house. To those who have no sense, she says, stolen water is sweet. Food eaten in secret is delicious. But little do they know that the dead are there, that our guests are deep in the realm of the dead, right? Her guests are in the realm of the dead because they went after ill-gotten gains. And this connects to Proverbs 1:19, among other scriptures, where it says that such are the paths of all who go after ill-gotten gains. It takes away the life of those who get them. Okay, they're in the realm of the dead. They're the walking dead again in James, right? James is key in understanding a lot of the Bible. If you need a quick scripture to reference to explain it, and that is, it says the body without the spirit is dead, right? Like the body without the spirit is dead, faith without works is dead. So they're going to the realm of the dead where life is not worthwhile. Because you might think, hey, why should they care if they're having a good time, right? Well, they're having a really evil time, and they're deriving pleasure from it. And the pleasure they're deriving from it is much less than they would derive true happiness, the pleasure they would derive from doing God's work, right? True happiness and joy, and the pleasure that they would derive from doing God's work. Okay. So notice that it says, little do they know, right? It has to do with brain function. It has to do with your mind. It has to do with your brain and your mind needing to be in coordination, right? They need to be connecting. They need to have a strong connection. They need to work together. They need to be in harmony. So they don't know because their spirit is evil. They don't know because their soul is rotting. They don't know because their mind and body suffers because they went after ill-gotten gain. And they went after ill-gotten gain because they believed that stolen water is sweet and that food eaten in secret is delicious, and that goes back to the mark of the beast. That's why the Marquis de Sade, right, where we get the word Sodism, okay? That's why there's that word play there, the Marquis, the Mark-E. And in the word mark, you have the word ram scrambled, right? The goats, the rams. Marquis de Sade, Sodism, sad. deriving pleasure from causing pain. Now, you don't have to be whipping somebody in the bedroom to derive pleasure from causing pain. You could simply be taking advantage of a corrupt system, not doing God's work, even if you're giving money to charity. Okay, say you give money to charity. Say you get $100,000 a year to charity, but you're still worth millions, and you're having a swell old time with your wife. So what are you giving that money to charity for? To make yourself feel better, right? It's not really helping, because you believe that stolen water is sweet, because you believe that food eaten in secret is delicious. A huge message of the Bible is that, right? That determines who's going up and who's going down. Those who seek to benefit from cheating and ill-gotten gains, especially generational ill-gotten gains, old money, generations of serving old money, what have you, they go to the realm of the dead. They live in the realm of the dead. The reason why I refer to the earth as the top layer of hell is because so many people are in the realm of the dead. And there's one gate, I'm the gate. And then people are supposed to form a formation around that gate and then to enter through me and go out and find the pasture. It's like the Garden of Eden, the pasture in the kingdom of heaven. Notice also it says that wisdom built her house and set it on 7 pillars. You hear about the pillars of Islam, for example. 7 principles is one way to interpret the 7 pillars. It's a very valid way. The principles of righteousness and justice, of wisdom, of discipline, of insight, of sense, of knowledge, the principle of knowledge of God. There's other principles like prudence that are explored. The principle of power, right? What is true power? The 7 principles, the 7 divine principles, if you will. Now, oftentimes you see that words are variations of other words, right? Perseverance and will. They're not exactly the same thing. There's a nuance there. But quite often, it's like they're the same thing. I often say that moral, mental, spiritual, and romantic are the same thing. If one isn't moral, their spirit isn't really a spirit. It's just rot bringing them down. There's like only one true spirit in a sense, and that's the Spirit of God. And the sub-spirits that exist within the spirits of God. Just give me the Spirit of God. So we see that wisdom is a wise builder. Wisdom is a wise builder that built her house on 7 pillars. And the foolish builder, as we see elsewhere in Proverbs, tears their actual house down and builds a house not worth living in, not worth building, not worth participating in. They commit to the unwise course. A huge part of sparring is prioritization and a commitment to wise action, and to scramble to be wise, to scramble to bear fruit from being wise. So what does sparring show? It shows timing, right? It shows discipline. It shows mentality. It shows commitment to wise action. It shows prioritization.